How you doing, folks? Very welcome. Thanks for watching. This is part two of two parts, I suppose, an interview I done with Machinery Pete. Absolutely fantastic, brilliant guy. Video is about 40 minutes long. Part one is there. You'll find it. Part two. This is part two. You're in the right place. Brilliant, fantastic guy. Overlapped the video a small bit. He told a fantastic story about a 14-hour John Deere tractor that sat outside for 30 years. Brilliant. Great story about the tractor. That's at the start of this video. It's at the end of the other video. So it's a small bit of an overlap. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the links below. Any links below to Machinery Pete and all will be there on the description down thereafter. That's kind of it. Look me up in Morgan O'Flaherty Country Life. Heap of podcasts there. Check them out as well. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you after. Thanks for watching. Go through your channel all day and all night. You had that very low hour John Deere, the one that the trees grew around.
Oh yeah, that's our most watched YouTube video, Morgan. I think it's like 1.7 million views or something. It was from, I think it was 2013. We ran across a tractor in Ohio in the central U.S. It was a 1992, I think, John Deere 4960, so 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those crazy deals where the gentleman bought it, and when he brought it home to his farm, he had a beautiful shed, machine shed, but it was full.
Mm-hmm.
So he parked it right outside the shed, and he never ever moved it. It was crazy. And it, like you said, trees started to grow up around it. And interestingly, the tractor only had 14 hours on it 20 some years later, and the guy passed away. And it was sort of a local legend in the area. People had heard about this in that 4960 is a very popular model here. And they'd heard about it and they wanted to go see it. And now, I don't think I shared this in the YouTube video, but the word was that when people drove up the guy's driveway, it's like, I heard about that 4960. I want to go look at it. He would have a gun to leave my property.
Yeah.
But after he passed away, his son sold it as is, and a father and son from Rushville, Ohio bought it. And it was pretty amazing, Morgan. It sat outside for 20 years. And Ohio gets really warm in the summer, like, 90s and humid. So the tree that grew up, it dripped sap down onto the hood.
Yeah.
And the hood was kind of pitted out. That was the only thing wrong with it. So they bought it, and they put new fuel in it, and it, boom, started right up. And now you've got this tractor, and the plastic was still on the seat. There was still cardboard on the floor of the cab from the dealership.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was out there maybe a month after they got it. And even then, when you open the cab door, you stick your head in there, and it was like,
The smell.
it smelled like a new tractor after sitting outside for 20 years. It was an unbelievable situation.
Brilliant. No, like that's just a video. It's actually a video you'd watch over and over and over again. Like, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe it only had 14 hours, and I understand how it's hard to believe, but the longer I do this, Morgan, I think as humans, we do a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Sometimes you buy a new tractor and it makes no sense, but you just park it outside and forget about it, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Like it's just, but like even to go on to some more of your videos, you done a video then of, I think it was two brothers, and they had a vast collection of John Deeres, and they were all assigned in the shed again. Right?
Yeah, those were two brothers I've known for years. They're out in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of collectors, you kind of have the thing you want to specialize in. And for those brothers, it was John Deere tractors from the kind of the late 60s, 70s, and 80s. And they wanted the most rare ones. And they spent decades cherry picking, finding and buying and collecting. So when they took me out and opened their shed, I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, this is dreamland for any John Deere tractor lover of the 70s and 80s. And he just smiled. So we did the same thing. We just took the phone and walked down the line. And
Yeah.
again, to hear Kevin kind of explain it, then when you hear the collector talk, it unlocks their knowledge and passion
Yeah.
about it. And I found it really interesting. Most farmers here in the U.S., Morgan, if you ask them about their tractor up front, they'll, we're kind of modest and they don't like to brag. So they're like, well, whatever. But once you get them going and start asking questions like, geez, Morgan, tell me about that. Tell me about your Massey Ferguson.
Yeah.
Then they just open up and it becomes this, it feels like you're sitting in a coffee shop with an old friend.
Yeah.
And you're just talking tractors. And it is really, really fun to do those videos.
Yeah, I suppose it's like an international language, and
Exactly correct.
yeah,
Yes.
it's just,
And you know what? Life is hard and there's a lot of pressure.
yeah,
And if there's something that lights you up and makes you smile, to collect and to put your thoughts and efforts to that, I think it just makes us feel better.
yeah, it does, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
And like watching your YouTube videos, I can tell when you're filming about a tractor, you're excited, you're interested, and that comes through in the video, and it makes me want to watch. So, yeah, I think tractors and farming, you're right. It's just a universal language.
It's a universal language, and it's kind of the same struggle. Everyone is in the same struggle, and just hopefully
Farming is tough. Farming is tough business. Tons of risk. Every year you're putting it all on the line. So again, the tractor collecting and talking about tractors, kind of a safe haven.
It is indeed.
And it's good for us.
It is, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, are you there, Morgan?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me, Pete? Yeah, and what we have here then as well.
It's good.
Yeah. What we have here as well are cancelled at the moment because of the COVID. We have an awful lot of shows and tractor runs and shows, and the amount of people that go to that. And like I often say on the radio, I could meet you there. I don't know where you're from. I don't know your name, but I know you have a Fortson or a Massey Ferguson or an Oliver. I know exactly the tractor that's yours. And we'll talk about it. But I meet you tomorrow walking down the street. And,
I know what you mean. We have the tractor rides and the collector shows here, Morgan. And you can make a lifelong friend in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I ask someone, hey, tell me about your tractor.
Yeah.
Very powerful stuff.
Yeah. And if you tell some fella, tell me about your tractor, your vintage tractor, your tractor, or whatever, he's very, like we said before, the tractor is part of the family. Like the tractor will often be at a wedding. It will often be in family photographs. When the tractor is new, the kids are around it and people are taking pictures. It's not just a piece of equipment. It's also a family member in a lot of cases.
Well, I don't know if you saw, Morgan, on our Machinery Pete Facebook page. This was maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, but I just asked a simple question. It was I think like 6 at night. I just posted and I said, folks, what's your favorite tractor and tell me why? Now, before I hit the button to send the post, in my head, I was thinking, I bet there's going to be 2 words that are most prominent in these posts. And my prediction was the word grandpa and dad.
Yeah.
That's what happened. People, I'm amazed, Morgan, the power of memory. So people would post this picture and they'd say, this is the tractor my dad bought new when I was 10.
Yeah.
They would go on to say, they remember that was a Wednesday. And they remember that it was cloudy or windy that day.
Yeah.
And they remember what they were wearing or getting off the school bus.
Yeah.
So these memories, they're intertwined with our families, and they're very, very powerful stuff. Again, it's fun to hear people's stories. Again, because there's so much we can learn from each other.
Yeah, and like another video that you have on, you said if you have what you call it, a rule of 12.
Rule of 12, yeah. So basically, my thinking here is whatever your favorite tractor is when you were a 12-year-old kid, that there's a really high probability that that will always be your favorite tractor.
Yeah.
And I've just, over the 30 years, talking to people all over, it's kind of universal. So we had an instance recently, and we put this on our TV show, but
Yeah.
there was a guy, I don't know, he's probably like 35, 37 years old, from South Dakota, a farmer. He reached out to me with a video clip, and he said, "Hey, Pete, check this out." And it was a video of his 11-year-old son, Cole. His name was Cole. And they had been shopping for a John Deere 8300, which again is like a 200 horse tractor made in the late 1990s. And Cole wanted it. He's like, "Oh my gosh, oh Dad, can we get this tractor?" And they bought it. Now they didn't tell Cole. And then they filmed him. Somebody on a cell phone filmed him as he got a text from his dad, like, "Hey son, we bought it." And Cole was looking at it, and then he just
Yeah.
And I told his dad, Kelly, I said, "Kelly," I said, "you're going to remember that for the rest of your life, and I guarantee Cole is going to remember it."
Yeah.
So we took that clip and we put it on our Machinery Pete TV show. And then, Morgan, I just had to change my Machinery Pete rule of 12 to Machinery Pete rule of 11.
Yeah.
Because Cole is 11. But again, I think those are just, universal things that, again, intertwined with tractors and family.
Yeah, it's just, I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was an absolutely brilliant. Just even for anyone that's listening and watching, just to go on and just view it. Look at the young fella's face. It was just.
And again, it's hard to remember, but we were 11 once. You're an 11-year-old boy, and we don't get excited about too much when you're 11 and your parents are filming you. You got to play it cool or whatever.
Yeah.
But the pure joy that just shot through him.
Yeah.
It's the tractor we got. Yeah, it makes you smile.
It does, yeah. And we need them things in life, whether you're into tractors or whether you're into whatever you're into, motorbikes or cars or whatever.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. You still have to have those small little moments.
Yeah, I think seeing a kid be that excited, and as parents, we have, our two daughters are grown. They're almost 30 now, but you see that excitement, and it excites you, and it makes you remember. Yeah, I mean, it's good to be excited about things in life, like you said, whether that's motorbikes or tractors or whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
So it makes life worth living.
It does, yeah. It just makes you forget about the bill and maybe the issue for the day and the bank ringing and whatever. Just forget about that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Greg, like, I suppose some of the stuff there, some of the other stuff you have on YouTube, and of course you mentioned that you have we don't have it here actually. We should start a campaign that we want Machinery Pete TV in Ireland,
Well, that would be awesome, Morgan. Your viewers, listeners, you can watch the show right on our website on Machinery Pete TV, just machinerypete.com. Then there's a TV link right there. So, like you say, if you do the casting onto your big screen or watch it on your laptop or on your mobile phone, but yeah, we have a lot of fun doing the show, and just wrapped up season 8, heading into season 9. We're filming our first auction next week in Minnesota here. It's got some really nice equipment on it. So that's one thing I love about auctions. There's next sale, there's always something different on the sale, and it's fun to bring it to the viewers.
One thing when I watch your auctions on YouTube, it's interesting to watch because every person buying at the auction has his own kind of technique. You'll have the fella that'll kind of nod the cap, and the fella up the finger, and the fella that'll wink.
We do some business with bankers on Wall Street. They kind of use our information to kind of do analysis for farm equipment companies and such. And a couple times they've accompanied me out to auctions.
Yeah.
It was funny, their reaction. So you're standing there and, maybe a tractor is selling, maybe it's a $250,000 tractor. And these Wall Street people, they talk to me afterwards and they're like, did that guy over there just buy it? And he has dirty overalls on, and they look at him and they're like, wow. And then, like you said, Morgan, the way they bid, they might just move their head just like this.
Yeah.
You just bought like $250,000 item with a tilt of your head. Yep, that's how it works.
You wouldn't want your ear to be itchy.
You do not itch your ears. No, I learned that 30 years ago. Keep your hands in your pocket.
Keep your hands in your pocket. I remember one time I went to a livestock auction, well, several times, but I remember going with my father, and he'd be there, keep your hands in your pocket. Yeah, because like just
Listen to your
yeah. But like no, it's and everyone is different, and everyone is. But like you had some going back even on your videos there a couple of weeks ago. You spoke to, I think it was an auction, and they had 4 or 5 John Deeres outside of the big. So the yard was covered with the yard was clear, but the fields were covered in snow, and they had 4 or 5
Yeah.
fantastic John Deeres out the front again with very very low hours on it, like, and even they were doubting themselves at the stage.
Yeah, that sale I think was from Circleville, Ohio, and yeah, our auction company I know real well, and yeah, I've always found the geography of auctions to be interesting, Morgan. So we'll post that YouTube video, and then a lot of our viewers maybe down in Texas or Arizona or Florida look at it and they go, "Why do you people live up in the northern U.S.? Isn't that terrible with all the snow?"
Yeah,
And up here, I'm a northerner, so we kind of flip it and we say, well, how do you people down south deal with 100 degrees in the summer? How do you do that?
yeah,
But again, the machinery and the farming is the connecting piece. And I guess also, if you get into Florida and it's a sugarcane harvester on a sale, people here in the north go, well, that's interesting. What's that worth? And I
yeah,
know they do the same if we can find a good auction in Ireland or the UK. They'd be like, wow, it's
yeah,
it's just a lot of interest, different areas geographically. And I've always tried to write about, resale value in different areas.
yeah,
So that's, always interesting to focus on too.
yeah. And of course, we can't talk to you without talking about your, I suppose, machinery Pete, Kenny.com, machinerypete.com. But like for anyone that's listening or anyone that's watching it, like it's you have such a selection of machinery on there. Like it's just like even for someone like myself, okay, I'd be, as I would call it, fantasizing about buying a piece of equipment. But your website, it's so well laid out and it's so well used. For someone like myself, I'm completely not computer tech or not any. I can barely get the phone to work sometimes. But like going to your website, it's all laid out. You can choose what horsepower range you want, what brand you want, or you can scroll down through them all. You can do whatever you want. It's I think it's very well laid out.
I appreciate that, Morgan. I know our people, our programming people did a lot of work with that. We tried to make it intuitive. And I'm with you. I'm no computer expert. I get kind of uptight if I have to try and figure things out. So we wanted to make it just, visually, tractors, 200 horse, John Deere. And I do like to play around with our search filters. So like we've had fun talking about some of the big, huge, older four-wheel drive horses like a Big Bud or a Steiger or a Versatile. So we want to make it really easy so you can just a couple clicks and see all the 1980 model four-wheel drives from around North America. And then there's a lot of the dealers do a really nice job with all the pictures.
Yeah.
And then, we just keep updating it every day. So whether you're buying or selling, we just want to be that marketplace to help you transact, find what you need, and sell what you got to move.
Yeah, and one thing I found with it as well when I went into it, we'll say if I like, we'll say a Big Bud or a Steiger or a Versatile or a Ford, whatever it was, you can put a love heart on the picture or on the particular ad. So when you go back in tomorrow or next week, you can see if it's still there or I thought that was a very interesting part of it as well.
Yep, and we just added another recent twist where if you're interested in an item, you can, right by that heart, you can check price alerts. So if that dealer drops the price at all, which is common, maybe that's things been on a lot for 9 months or whatever. they want to, try and move it so they knock $4,000 or $5,000 off, you get a notification. So that might be the impetus to, oh, now it's in my price range, rather than you having to go back all the time and keep looking and looking. Yeah, we just want to make it easier to sort and, keep tabs on those items you're interested in.
Yeah, yeah. It was brilliant, and I thought it was very, like I said, I'm not a bit computer or whatever, but it was just, I found it, if I found it easy to use, it's very easy to use.
We might have to put you on our user panel, and you can
Yeah,
help us get us through the next generation of things we need to tweak for our website. But I appreciate those kind words. We
yeah.
hope people can find what you want quickly there.
Yeah, and of course, like for anyone, even from Ireland, there was, like I know of several people here that have bought tractors over in the States and have brought them home. But like for anyone in Ireland or England or any place, like you have a location, there's everything on it, and you cover the whole lot of the United States and probably beyond at this stage, yeah.
We're been pretty U.S. focused. We'll be
Yeah.
adding Canada. We have auction prices from Canada for over 20 years, so we got that covered. But
Yeah.
we're doing the Canadian listings, and we hope to get into Europe and Australia here before too long. And one thing, if you do have viewers over there, listeners, Morgan, if you do happen to see a piece of equipment here in the U.S. you're interested in, most of the dealers here have had exposure to shipping equipment worldwide. So if you reach out to them, if they don't do it themselves, they might know a specialty firm that can facilitate that. So we see used equipment kind of going all over the world, every direction these days.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I always say, if you don't ask, you won't get. So if
Yeah, I mean, you're right. That's good life advice right there.
yeah, like I was going through your thing. I was desperate bad head for numbers, Pete, Greg. But there was a case. It was a probably 1970s. It was a 27 something, a 2760. I forget the number, but like it was there, and I was thinking like I put the love heart on it, and I'd be thinking like, but no, but like you said, get on to the dealer, ask the question, and then if they can't do it, they'll facilitate. They'll put you in touch with someone that will be able to do it.
Right. And the price is listed. I mean, obviously, certainly open to negotiate. You can try to negotiate with the dealer. So they might have whatever that number was on it, 30,000, 5,000, whatever.
Yeah.
You can call them up and try to do a deal. And again, we just want to put the buyers and sellers together there and help the market keep this used inventory turning.
Yeah. And you know what? Even for someone that might be considering bringing a tractor from the States to Ireland, it's not that overly expensive. Now, it's something like about to fill to a 40-foot container, something like about €3,000. But like most tractors, you put 3 tractors into a 40-foot container. So
Sure.
maybe get onto your buddy or get onto someone else that might be thinking about it. And
Yeah. I think there you just, again, like you said, factor in the get a handle on what it'll cost.
yeah,
The acquisition cost of the item, and just tack that on. And I think people over here in the U.S., we see that happening, Morgan, with auctions now. A piece will be up for sale in Montana on an auction. The buyer might be from Tennessee.
Mhm.
And on the one hand, it's like, ooh, that's going to be expensive to ship. But, just figure your cost per loaded mile. And if I bought the thing for 100K and that fits my budget, that's the item I need.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. It's good. I would say, Pete, when you were doing auctions, I understand you probably don't go to the 52 states of America. But will you travel very far from your home base, or how far would you travel to?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do cover everywhere. And I think people, I understand that they watch our YouTube videos and our TV show, and they maybe think I'm on the road every day traveling the country, and I'm not.
Yeah.
We work with 1,100 auction companies. And again, because I've been doing it for 31 years, a lot of times now if the sale's in Arizona, the auction company will send me the report and I can still write about it. But for our TV show, we do bounce around the country. We like to get south in the wintertime.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it's a little warmer down there than we are in Minnesota. But yeah, It's really, and I'm also, I guess I would say, Morgan, I'm interested in dialects.
Yeah,
So I'm from Minnesota. People tease me for I'm Norwegian, so we kind of draw out our O's, and we're here from Minnesota. But
yeah,
then we get down North Carolina or Mississippi or Florida, and of course they have a drawl down there, or our friends in Ireland. We
yeah,
all sound a little different.
yeah,
It's fun on the TV show to show an auctioneer in Mississippi to a viewer in Wyoming
yeah,
who doesn't get to Mississippi that often, and vice versa. So
yeah,
that's partly why I want you to find me an auction in Ireland or England, so that
yeah,
you can come and get that auction chant the beautiful way you guys speak. And I know our viewers here would be like, that was awesome.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. When I was working there before, the biggest thing when I used to meet Americans, especially, they just love the way the Irish say the number 33. 33. Why? I don't know. It's 33, but it's whatever. It's okay. It's fine.
That's, that's
33,333.
what I mean. I had one cute story here, Morgan. We were filming an auction in North Carolina, I think 2 years ago. And I apologize for my Southern drawl and impersonation, but the good old boy farmers there were like, "Hey, Machinery Pete, where are you from?" And I
Yeah,
said, "Well, sir, where do you think I'm from?" And they're like, "Well, the way you talk, I'd say you're from Wisconsin, Canada, or Minnesota."
yeah,
And I said, "Well, you're right, sir, I'm from Minnesota." And then he went on to say, "Well, I was calling on a tractor to Iowa recently, and I could not understand that guy." And of course, if you talk to a farmer in Iowa, we would have a difficult time understanding that Southern
yeah.
drawl. Again, it's universal,
It is. Yeah.
but the spice of life, I guess.
Like it's a bit like Ireland here, where I'm in Kerry, Limerick. That's not too bad. It's kind of the same. Then you go to Cork, and it's only like 60 miles away, but they have a completely different accent. I'm not even going to try and make a bad personation of it, but it's just completely different. And
One of the most fun auctions I ever did for YouTube, Morgan, was in 2010. So I can't believe it was 11 years ago, but it was
yeah,
in El Paso, Texas. I went down there, and it was a big consignment sale. But the auctioneer, I think his last name was Dickinson, and they called that auction in 3 languages because
oh,
they did English, of course, and Spanish. They had a lot of folks from Mexico coming up to buy and sell equipment. But there was also a German Mennonite community across the border in Mexico, and they spoke German.
oh,
So
brilliant.
they had a young Spanish auctioneer who called the sale in German. So I was there no iPhones back then. I had a flip phone.
Yeah,
I was filming this young guy calling a sale in German and Spanish.
yeah,
Yeah, it was just fun to see that variety.
brilliant, absolutely. And of course, talking in German and Spanish and all that. When you go across the border up to Canada, you have is it French
Yeah,
Canadian, yeah.
right,
No,
right.
just yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
Yeah,
Once again, I always love the variety of covering the different areas.
yeah, 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 yeah. Pete, I suppose that's kind of it. I can't think of much more to ask you. Only for anyone that's out there and watching, look up machinerypete.com. You're on Instagram as well, Peter, aren't you?
Yep. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Just type in Machinery Pete, and you'll probably find me.
You'll find him there someplace. And get onto YouTube, and there's some, like I said, there's some fantastic, brilliant, brilliant content on YouTube, and of course Machinery PTV, and away you go, hours and hours and hours of fun.
Well, thanks, Morgan, for the visit and having me on your podcast. Really enjoyed it.
Brilliant, Pete. Thank you very much. Cheers. I just press pause. Yeah. Okay, guys, how are you doing? Thank you very much, Machinery Pete. Absolutely brilliant. What an absolute gentleman. I couldn't praise the man enough. Get on to machinerypete.com. You'll see it now. Get on to Machinery Pete TV. I watch it myself. Look, come here. I'm not a bit computer savvy or anything like that. But look, I'll get onto it here fast for 2 seconds. Go onto YouTube. If we can see it. Hang on now. Let me see it. Machinery, Machinery, Machinery Pete. No, P. Okay, that's it. That's it. Can you see that, folks? Hopefully you can. Machinery Pete. There is some just brilliant stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff on there. And of course, there's Machinery Pete on YouTube. And then you have, I should have all this written down, but I don't. You have Machinery Pete on Instagram. Or on, yeah, Instagram, yeah. The Machinery Pete, you know, that he's some. Look at that. That's what you can't see it. You might be able to see it there. But yeah, that's it. Great, thank you. Absolutely fantastic, brilliant, fantastic talking to you. Of course, for myself, this will be all. Also, if you haven't the time to sit down in front of the phone or the laptop or whatever, go on to podcasts. Very easy to find it. Morgan O'Flaherty Country Life, and this will be up on the podcast in and around the end of March, early April 2021. So get into Morgan O'Flaherty Country Life. You're obviously after finding me on YouTube. So hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully we have a bit more of the same in the coming couple of weeks. And check out some of my other videos. The podcast, there's the Shamrock car that we built in Ireland, there's the DeLorean car, there's the Ford tractor, the Ford car, so on and so forth. We've got some brilliant content coming up. I also have an interview there with Sherry. Sherry was from Heritage Ireland and Heritage Oliver magazine. They're all there. So check them all out, and there will be something for you. I know there will. If you're into machines or tractors, it's David Brown Tractors. He was, I can't think of his name, he's only living up the road from me. He was one of the first silage contractors in Kerry. So in Ireland, it's in County Kerry, where I'm living. What was his name? Can't think. Doesn't matter. Quintet is David Brown. He's in the David Brown Tractor section of the podcast. Very easy to find, like I said, Morgan O'Flaherty Country Life. You can be found in YouTube, Morgan O'Flaherty. Hit that like, subscribe button. Watch out for the next video. The bell as well. Cheers. Thanks very much. Bye now. We'll get there eventually.